Forrest is with us in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Hey, Forrest, how are you?
Hi, Dave and Christy. It's an honor to talk to you guys.
You too. What's up?
So I'm 25, and I just started my first job after college. I have no student loans, no credit card debt. I have $3,000 in the bank and $3,000 in single stock. And I'm looking to propose to my significant other, and I'm looking into moving and living with her. And so my question was, what would you recommend when planning to purchase an engagement ring, starting to save for a wedding, and that would be 2 years from now? And what would be your recommendation for investment? Because I really haven't done any at the moment.
Okay, cool. What do you make?
About $60,000 a year.
What's your potential fiance make?
She'll be a high school teacher, so anywhere between 30 and 40 to start out with.
Okay, so like 100. Household income when you're married, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, here's a couple of rules of thumb. Engagements and weddings are really important. No kidding, Dave. So, and they can both get emotional, and people get stupid around what they spend on both things. So here's a couple of guidelines for you to think about. Since you're going to be saving up for the wedding, the cheaper the wedding, the sooner the date. That makes sense?
That makes sense to me.
Because I heard you say 2 years because it was going to take that long to save the money when it doesn't take that long to run down to the Justice of the Peace by Saturday.
This is true. But
I wasn't going to suggest that. I'm just saying that there's a ratio here, that the cheaper the wedding, the faster it occurs, okay?
That makes sense.
So if you were my kid, I would say don't wait 2 years so that you don't move in together before marriage. Don't shack up ahead of time. And let's plan an inexpensive wedding, but a nice wedding, and let's get married in 5 or 6 months. If you were my kid, that's what I would tell you. Okay? Now, then onto the engagement ring. A good rule of thumb, the jewelry stores tell you 3 months of your income, and that's because they sell jewelry. So a good rule of thumb is 1 month of income, maximum. So Sweetie's getting a $4,000, $3,000 ring max, because that's your take-home pay. Which, by the way, gets you real dadgum married. Sharon's was $1,164, and 39 years later, it's still working good. Okay? You with me?
I think we lost him.
I
think you've scared him away.
Are you gone? Did I blow you out of the saddle?
He's like, you killed all my dreams. I'm out of here.
Okay, what were you thinking of spending on the ring?
I was thinking somewhere between 3 and 5.
Oh, okay. We're on the same. We're in the same ballpark. You weren't going to go crazy, because there is no correlation between the size of the diamond and the success of the marriage. As a matter of fact, there might be an inverse correlation at some point. Okay, meaning that if a large rock is required the size of a headlight, this is probably not the girl of your dreams, but it's the girl of your nightmares. But anyway, if that's a requirement, so I think you're on track there. And so, dude, I mean, listen, like, we're talking $10,000 here gets this whole puppy done, and then you move on with other stuff. But in the meantime, these things are top of the line. What do you think, Christy?
Yeah, I think the only other thing I would question is, Forrest, figure out what your monthly expenses are, and just make sure that you keep some savings for your emergency fund. When you're I don't want you to drain your $3,000 in a savings account for the ring and not have any savings. Well, this is on top of your savings.
Yeah, you need to cash out this stock and stuff. So you got $6,000 to work with. You need about 10, and so you could be married by Christmas with a $10,000 wedding and a $3,000 ring. If budget's what's holding up the calendar. I don't know if it is, but that's what I thought I heard. Did I hear that?
You said 2 years very definitively. Where'd that 2 years come from? Don't let him put words in your mouth. If it's not money, tell us. You just be honest for us. What are we working with here? Why 2 years?
So, me personally, I want to be able to actually live with her a little bit before I actually marry her and spend the rest of my life with her.
Yeah, this is a woman. It's not shoes. You don't have to try them on and see if they fit.
All right.
You do what you want to do, but the actual statistical correlation between people that shack up before getting married versus those that don't, there is very detailed research on that, and it increases the success ratio in your marriage staying together to not do that. And so there's data on this. Okay,
it just does.
Tons of pieces of research on this, and yet there are more people live together in America today without marriage than marriage.
Well, and when you move in together, it can often be really hard. Matt and I moved in together when we got married, and it was hard. So if you're using that as your litmus test to determine if you want to marry her, I don't know that's it's a good idea. You may change your minds, and she could be the one. But it was a hard first 6 months because why do you fold the towels that way? I mean, you have some interesting.
What's wrong with you with the toothpaste?
No, no, you don't load the dishwasher that way. I mean, that first
backward.
year.
Squeeze or roll. I'm just saying, it's just bad. Yeah, but we've been married 39 years. Sharon says we had 25 good years of marriage. So I'm just saying that's part of the equation. So you do what you want to do, brother. We're here to help you and love you and tell you the truth and tell you what we believe. And this advice comes from a point of caring, and it comes from data and research, and it comes so the average wedding in America today is $28,000. For those of you listening, the average household income is right about $60,000. So people are spending about 50% of their household income on average on their wedding. That's the average. Now that's a lot. That's a lot. It's not to say a $28,000 wedding is evil, but if you spend over half your annual income, you'd be over average, and that's a double lot. So we've got lots of our team members, 20-somethings all through this building, get married for $10,000 and had some really nice little weddings. We've had some people spend a lot more than that, including some Ramsey girls, but we had the money, so there's that.
Feels like a really big deal before it's here, and then afterwards, it doesn't feel like it's big of a deal. When you're married, you got new priorities.
We're cleaning out the closets right now. The organizer lady's there, and we're finding all this stuff from 30 years ago, and we're going 20 years ago, 10 years ago, the kids' weddings, our weddings. Wow.